The Every Point Sports Podcast featuring Greg and Jack starts right now.
Oh, welcome in, everyone. I am Jack Stache from Fantasy Farm Sports. We've got Greg Kratzer, the Old Gamer GK. We're coming at you with Week 3 NFL Best Bets. How you feeling today, Greg?
I'm feeling great. Week 3, we're starting to get settled into what teams we think are good, what teams we think are bad, what deficiencies they have, what strengths they have. So everything's starting to come together a little bit. We're hitting with our picks. We're missing on some big ones. But I mean, the ones that we are missing on, every single person, even your professionals, are missing on. So,
they're doing a lot worse than we are.
Oh, I believe me, they are. I think we're doing pretty good. Last week, I was barely up, but I was up. Niners hurt me a lot. You guys know how strong I was on them. And then, of course, Monday night really hurt me a lot. God, I had that game. I would have been up a lot more. The little bit I was up, I put all on that game. And, we all know what happened.
The Niners ruined me.
Yeah, they hurt me. Who else hurt me? The Ravens hurt me.
I refrained from angry texting you about your team because I had
I had my buddy Nick. He was on me pretty much the whole game. I ignored him. I ghosted him.
Yeah, he was on me too on my page.
I seen that. He's like, "Oh, bet your house picks. I love them." Well, what about the other 16 games that we did hit on? So.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, they're really loud, aren't they, when you're wrong on one?
Yes. And especially when he is a fan of the Vikings. So, we get a little extra hard from him when they beat my Niners.
All right, where do you want to start today?
First off, I want to give a quick shout out. You guys hear him every single Sunday on our intro. Rob Brown, he did the music for our intro, everything from the voice to the mix to the instrument. So I just want to give a quick shout out to him and really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, Rob Brown's awesome, and it is a really cool intro. I enjoy listening to it every time. It's original. It's us. It's fantastic. Rob Brown's a great guy.
Yeah, okay. On that note, how about some football, huh?
I mean, but let me get to real quick. I just want to address. I have finally. I know. I have crested. I'm hitting the high water mark. I just reached 60 subscribers. Fantasy Farm
awesome.
Sports YouTube. Really excited. Thank you every single person that subscribes and listens and all that stuff. You guys are awesome. Our next stop hopefully is 100. I mean, all we need is 30. I just need 30 more and I'm at 100. And once we get to 100, we'll get to 200, but we're really growing, and I'm not growing because of me. I'm growing because you guys have decided to join the farm. And when I say join the farm, I say all of us. So, I've got a site in which you can write sports. You could come on, these lives with us and stuff, and you can do it. You can be a part of all of it. It's not just me doing it, pulling the wagon, the cart. It's not that at all, right? It's all of us. It's ESPN didn't just start with all these guys, right? They did it together, and that's what we're hoping to build here and grow here. So thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. To piggyback off of that, also everybody over on OldGamerGK Entertainment channel over on YouTube, greatly appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome, showing up every single week for the Every Point Sports Podcast. Really pushing me to get that monetization goal that we're all trying to hit, and also showing up for my gaming. You guys are doing awesome. You guys are wasn't really getting much traction over there, but you guys are starting to show up on my gaming stuff over on YouTube, which I greatly appreciate too, because we all know how mad I get playing Call of Duty, and you guys love laughing at me. So All right, but on that note, I think we get back to some football now.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's bring up our games here.
Got all of our thank
Our
yous.
first game of the day. This one actually went up a half a point from last night when I was looking at it. Denver Broncos at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Denver is getting 6.5. Over unders 41. Money lines plus 215. Broncos. Bucks are negative 265. What's your
What do you
thoughts
like
on
on
this
this?
game? I love the money line. Um, 6.5. I don't understand why it's 6.5. Broncos has been pretty much getting steamrolled. I know they have like the number one pass defense, if I remember correctly. But still, I mean, Baker's on fire. He's playing at MVP level right now. On
So
fire.
so Denver can Sean Payton's good at this though. Sean Payton knows Todd Bowles, right?
Mhm.
Sean Payton, for all you guys out there, it's Sean Payton, Todd Bowles, and Bruce Arians. Like they all know each other pretty well. They're good friends. And they know what they want to do. So Sean Payton's going to know what Todd Bowles wants to do on defense, right? Can Bo Nix do anything besides check the ball down right now? I don't believe he knows how. I don't think he could see the windows. You know, the difference between rookies and pros is you can see it like that. If
Mhm.
you can't see it, you check it down.
Mhm.
And I think that's where Bo Nix is right now. He's into check downville, which plays right into Todd Bowles' strength. I think the Bucks are at home. I don't think they're not as buttoned up as the Tom Brady era, but they're really good. I think they'll win by 4.
Mhm.
They'll either win by 4 or 30.
Mhm.
But like you said, money line.
Yeah, absolutely. Really quick on what you were saying about those guys knowing each other. That's very important when you guys are doing your thoughts on what teams you guys are picking to bet on. Uh, Last week, I was kind of a little bit blinded by being a homer, but I should have thought about how LaFleur's defense plays against Shanahan's offense. It's always playing them very hard. I should have took account for that, and I'm glad you brought that up because coaches that know each other, defensive coordinator, offensive coordinators that know each other, they know how to play each other, and it could end up being a lot closer game than what you realize.
Yeah, I mean, you can't know everything, but you got to know
Mhm.
some little nuggets, right? And those
Mhm.
ones help you. You know, if why is it like that? Why is the line? That's a little
Yeah.
tricky. It's not tricky.
Mhm.
Somebody knows. The one thing that concerns me in this game is I don't I don't know if Rashad White's going to make the whole game.
Yeah, that's kinda iffy, you know?
He's a big dude with a semi groin injury right now for you fantasy owners, and if you can't pound it, Denver's not going to tire as quickly, right? And listen, I know Buck Irving's really quick and looks great, but does he look great as a number one yet? We've only seen him in the Jalen Warren role,
Mhm.
so I those are some things we're kind of looking at. Baker's going to have enough to get done. Baker's going to probably throw for 250 and 2 touchdowns and go home and drink a lot of beer. But
Yeah, throw for 2, maybe run for 1. He had a nice run last week for a touchdown, so mm.
crazy.
Yeah, listen, they said it, perfectly on, NFL Network this morning. They were saying, he's one of those quarterbacks right now that would do anything to win. Anything. And, you gotta love that about Baker. You gotta
well,
love that.
they're late to the game because I've been talking about it for 2 years. Oh, well,
No,
he's
yeah,
finished.
no,
Don't
I listen,
say anymore.
listen, I'm on you. You've been pounding the drum of Baker for a while, so
Can't play anymore. Look what Carolina looks like without Baker.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. At least he was keeping games close.
Yeah, look at what Cleveland's doing. Imagine Cleveland right now with Baker. That defense and Baker there. Wow. Really quick about Bo Nix, you were saying, check down. That's nothing really new on Bo Nix. He was like that at Oregon. Um, when he was at Auburn, that was a little different. He was big, strong, throwing it down the field. But when he got to Oregon, that's not the way the coach plays. He plays a lot of read option, a lot of screens, a lot of dump offs. And that's what Bo Nix was in college. He was the dump off king. He was check down king. He's
You're
doing
right.
the same thing right now. Doing the same thing. But the guy does have a cannon for an arm. He can push it downfield. He's just not very accurate. And I think Peyton's like, let's play to his strengths this year. Maybe later on in the season, as they get acclimated to the NFL, we'll try pushing it down intermediate routes down the field a little bit more to Sutton and stuff. But I think right now Peyton's just trying to play to his strengths and trying not to overwhelm the kid.
You know what he needs to be a little bit though? Like this isn't college. This is the NFL. You got to be your own man. Right? I believe in that. Right? I understand dialing it back if you've made mistakes. Your only mistake is so far you haven't dialed it up.
Yeah.
You
but and I know how a strong personality Peyton is.
I know, but he should. But Bo Nick has to be his own man and go, bro, I got to dial something up here because they're laughing at me.
You've seen what happened when Russell Wilson tried being his own man to Sean Payton.
I understand.
You know what I mean? I mean, maybe learn your lessons from a vet. What happened with that? Come in, do your job. Once you have a little stature in the NFL, then you could speak up a little bit. But right now, and listen, Sean Payton's proven. He didn't do anything last year, but he won a Super Bowl. He's proven. So we have to give him the benefit of the doubt that he knows what he's doing. Again, I wasn't sold on Bo Nix when he was drafted, but we'll see what he can do with him.
Listen, I like my quarterbacks like Baker Mayfield and Will Levis. Let's go.
I get it.
We down by how far you want me to throw it?
Yeah. No, listen,
I understand. And real quick, I understand Will Levis makes mistakes, but he's making mistakes when he needs to get that ball out and it's 4th and 10, or we need a play. Like that, you don't have to worry whether Will wants to chuck it. It's gone.
No, and so far this year has been detrimental to the team too.
It has a little bit, but I'm a believer.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, you like Will Levis. All right. So we both like the money line on this. Negative 265. I say jump on that now. I see it nothing but going down a little bit from there.
Somebody found out Baker
up from there.
Last night.
What's that?
Somebody found out Baker wasn't drinking last night. It's going
up. Who do we like fantasy wise in this game?
I mean, it's hard.
We both like Baker.
Oh, you know who I like? Because it's just how I feel. Baker's gotten every single player involved. Except Cade Otton, and he likes Cade Otton.
Okay.
I think Baker's in such command of this offense right now. I think he can do things like Aaron Rodgers did on Thursday night. Oh, it's supposed to be a run play. I got to get Garrett Wilson a touchdown. I just think that Baker's going to look off Godwin. He's going to get two guys going that way and get Otton on a seam. It's just a gut. I can start other guys, but I'm starting Otton everywhere, and I know it's an oddball character, but I'm doing it.
Okay. All right. I like Baker. I like Godwin in this game. I think Patrick Surtain's going to be matched up on Evans the whole game. So I like those two. Denver, their offense is depleted. I'm not touching anybody on that offense right now. I'm not even touching their defense, so nobody on Denver.
Yeah, and guess what, guys? Remember I told you in the one of the teams to stay away from as far as fantasy football goes? Denver was on the list.
Yes, absolutely. All right, let's move on to we got the Eagles at Saints. Eagles are getting 2.5 in this game. Over unders 49.5. Eagles are at plus 120 money line, and Saints are at negative 142 money line. The way the Saints have been rolling, I don't like this spread. I don't understand why it's at 2.5.
I do.
You have a team last week that couldn't score a offensive touchdown in week 1 come out and beat the Eagles. I don't care that they were missing Brown. They're still one of the top teams in NFL, even without Jalen Brown or even without AJ Brown.
Yeah, I got all the answers here.
Okay. All right.
So Atlanta played Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's the number 1 defense in the league. The number 1 defense in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care where they go. They can go play football on Mars. Mike Tomlin's cracking.
Yeah.
right? They're the number
No,
one
he's good.
defense.
He's good. Their
He's good.
their defense is extraordinary this year.
He's good. And Kirk Cousins was not ready just yet to push off that Achilles. In fact, the only throws that you saw him push off on were at the end of that Philly game when he needed the win. All game they were arm throws, and he's 6'4", so it doesn't matter. But a couple of them were low, and he got the guys hit a little bit. At the end of the game, he knew he needed to drive the ball and test that thing. He beat Philly. Philly didn't beat themselves. Sirianni maybe overthought it a little bit. New Orleans. I want you to think about New Orleans beat Carolina, and everybody goes, yeah, but they beat the Cowboys. Let's talk about the Cowboys. The Cowboys' last 3 games. Absolutely blown out by Green Bay. You shut the TV off by halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Then they went to Cleveland and played the Browns, a team that's a mess. And then
Still
they got
solid defense, but a mess.
And then they got blown out again. Right? So Dallas isn't losing close games. Right? Dallas is getting somebody knows something about Dallas's defense, that you can get behind them, that you can trick them. You are getting smoked by 30 in the National Football League. This isn't college, folks. You are getting absolutely run out of the building. The Cowboys. I don't think the Cowboys are very good. I don't think they're I think their offense is fine. I think their defense is fine. They are one of the worst coached teams in the league.
Absolutely.
That's
I've
who
been
the
saying
Saints
that
beat.
for the last couple of years.
The Saints beat the worst coach in the league, Dave Canales, because he was an offensive coordinator. I don't think he was ready for this mountain that Carolina was. Okay. And then they got Dallas. And the bookies are telling you that we don't really believe all the things that the Saints are. And we do believe what Philly is. Philly is the bet here. It's not a bet your house, but Philly's the bet here.
Okay. All right. I can't pick this game. I don't know. This is one of the games I am staying away from. I mean, my gut says Philly. But again, I'm not. Yeah, this is a game that I am not touching.
Listen,
Not
they lost
touching.
by 1. They lost by 1 point to an Atlanta team. You can't drop 2 in a row, or you'll start hearing this, right? Right, and then Sirianni will have to start looking around, and the Philly papers. You can hear the typewriters now.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
not
I
losing
mean,
2 in a row, and the Saints aren't going to go 3-0. They're not 3-0 good. And I'm not sitting here on my soapbox saying that the Buccaneers are 3-0 good either. But they're getting Denver at home. So
I do like the over on this, 49.5. I think a lot of points are going to be scored, both teams.
I like the under here.
Do you?
Yeah, I think. I understand that Derek Carr's Joe Montana. I get it. And then next week he'll be. It wasn't an Atlanta team. It was Kirk Cousins. Yeah, he's right though. Nick Ward's right. It wasn't an Atlanta team. It was a Kirk Cousins led team, right? But the New Orleans Saints, Drew Brees I'm sorry. Drew Brees isn't there anymore, right? It's Derek Carr is not Joe Montana or Dan Marino. By the way, he's never put up statistics like this ever, except
I get it.
when he's losing games. And if you listen to some of those sound bites on the sideline, he knew. He go, yo, Shaheed, go long, I'm gunning you. He knew. And Derek Carr is not like this savvy. He knows football, but like for him to call that out on the sideline, I'm like, guys, cancel Dallas. Cancel Dallas.
Because he's throwing a really nice deep ball this year. He really
throws a great deep ball all the time, but when he doesn't have to guess, something's up.
Yeah.
Something's up. Dallas, there are troubles. Remember that old soap opera? Dallas, it's about to become that again.
Okay. All right. Fantasy wise, who do we like in this game?
I
Do
still
we like Kamara again? 4 touchdowns?
No. So here's what I like. I like Saquon Barkley, and I like the Eagles aren't going to give up anything deep. So I like their best route runner, which is not Shaheed. It's Olave. I like Olave. And I know that Taysom Hill's not going to be there, but you can load their other, what was it, Foster Moreau? You could load their other tight end. They're not going to get. They're not. The New Orleans Saints are not going to get deep today at all. It ain't happening. It's not happening. So I like Saquon Barkley. You gotta like. I actually like the tight ends. I like Goddard.
Okay.
I kind of think this game plays to like 45.
Gotcha. Yeah, I like Saquon also in this game. I like Carr in this game. I mean, Olave's been kind of quiet lately. This could be a breakout game for him. And I like Devontae Smith in this game.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I mean, Jalen Hurts is going to have it too. So
yeah, yep. Okay, moving on. We got the Chargers at the Steelers, both undefeated teams. Chargers are getting +3. Over under 34.5. Money line, Chargers are at +130. Steelers are at -155. I'm sorry, that just moved. -148 now. And these Chargers now are at +124. I think that's what it was before, but yeah, 148 just changed.
So there's a lot of moving parts to these games, right? I don't love Pittsburgh. It's not that I don't love the town. It's a nice little quaint town, right? They got a little bed and breakfast and stuff outside of Pittsburgh. It's nice. But as far as Justin Fields having to beat a team, I still don't see it. I watched his highlights from the past 2 weeks. Okay. His decision making is a little bit better, but he doesn't. The Steelers are getting holding calls. Okay, and it's partially because the line's not good, and it's partially because he's holding the ball just a little bit extra for that friendly Ohio State window that he always had. When he has to throw people open, it's just not him. Okay, and another quiet injury is they lost the right tackle this week.
Yeah, Joe Alt's out.
So I'm talking about Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh is down 3.
Not Alt. I forget what his name was.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think the Chargers Alt is out.
So they're down 3 starters. Pittsburgh is. But the Chargers could be down Justin Herbert, tall quarterback, high ankle sprain. You figure it out. I don't think my gut says Herbert's gonna try and play, and then you will see Easton stick, which isn't the worst thing because Easton can move. I don't know what to. I've got no pick on this game. Nothing.
I'm just trying to bring up the injury report.
No, but I think
I do. I mean, right now, I like Harbaugh. I've liked him since we started picking, and I still like them. I'm just trying to find their injury report real quick. So
something tells me Pittsburgh
on that.
In Pittsburgh, Tomlin, Fields, they find a way. I like the Chargers.
Questionable. Inco is preparing to play Sunday against Pittsburgh, but Chargers will continue to list him as questionable and aren't expected to make a decision on his status until after pregame warmups. Adam Schefter reports.
Yeah, I think he's going to go, but I don't know what it's going to look like.
Okay, so Alt is playing. It looks like Steelers have a. No, sorry, that's the Rams. Let's look at the Steelers real quick.
I love.
Troy Fatnew's out. They have their guard is out. Nobody else really significant, but they do have a chunk of people out. I'm still going to roll with the Chargers. I do like the Chargers. I've been rolling with the Chargers all year. I'm not going to. Their defense is playing sneaky good this year, especially after last year giving up as many points as they did. Harbaugh has this team playing good. I mean, Dobbins is looking like the starting running back he did before he got hurt. I understand the Steelers have a good defense, but I think the Chargers do just enough to squeak by.
I don't want to touch this game. I'm not betting this game at all. Not
betting
it.
I'm not betting it. I'm just telling you who I think's going to win.
Yeah, I want to say if it was a full healthy Herbert, but I think you can lose Herbert. And
Mhm.
I think that if you against the defense like this, TJ Watt knocks him to the ground a couple times, and all of a sudden that ankle feels more and more sore, starts to swell. I have to go with the healthy quarterback. You know what? I think Fields could probably just start taking off. He's like, you know what? I'm out of here.
Mhm.
I think he could turn it into I'm just going to run up the middle.
He good. Like I said, I think Harbaugh's defense is going to be looking out for that. They're going to make him be one-dimensional, I think. And when Fields has to throw, he showed he has very questionable decision making.
Yeah, he could just go to Pickens though, and that's been
You know,
good.
I listen. I get Chargers have just enough on defense. I think that they could blanket him though.
Yeah, they might be able to, and then
You know,
Pittsburgh,
like I said, the Chargers defense is playing just as good as any other defense in the league right now. They're playing very, very well.
Yeah, no, I'm not. There's no defensive concern for the Chargers. My concern is I don't think Herbert sees halftime,
half. I got you.
and then we got
But
Easton
you have to
Stick.
remember that the Chargers offensive line is really good too.
No, I know, but then you get Easton Stick against Pittsburgh's defense, and I'd rather have Fields against the Chargers D.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
just think they'll figure it out.
All right. Fantasy wise, who do we like in this game?
Oh God, you're making me do that. All right, so we got injured. Well, this is how we pan things out over here, right? So we got an injured quarterback on the Chargers. Yeah, but he says he's going to play. Whatever. He's injured. He's banged up. Load the running backs. Load Dobbins. Probably, you could see 20 carries from each running back. You could see Dobbins and you can see Gus Edwards get plenty of carries. And you know what? I don't think Tomlin's going to change it on the opposite side. You're going to see. I mean, they're going to be leaving that. The field's just going to be dirt. They're going to tear up the grass running it.
Oh, absolutely. Najee's going to get a nice chunk of carries.
Jalen Warren's back. He could break one. But this is just going to be a running affair in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I don't say start either quarterback if you do have Herbert. Definitely set them. I agree with you. Set up on the running backs here and play your defenses. You have either one of these defenses, play them.
The over-under's 35, and I wonder if that's a lie. I wonder if it breaks over 30.
I mean, it could be sneaky, could be one of them, but again, you're playing two of the best defenses in the league.
Sure, 20-17. There, I did it.
Yeah.
It just feels like we're headed towards a Boswell tying field goal overtime, 20-20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, to me, this feels like a, I don't know, like a.
This is the opposite of Bet Your House.
20-7 game. Yeah, this is sneaky. I mean, this could easily be a 10-3 game.
This is like Bet Your Dog Slipper that's bitten up. The opposite of Bet Your. You're like, oh, that thing? Yeah, put that over there. I'll bet that. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, we're both staying away from this game, but I do like the Chargers. Jack likes the Steelers. But again, we're not betting on this game.
No.
Next on the docket, we got New York Giants at Cleveland Browns. Giants are getting 6.5. Over/unders 38.5. Money line. Giants are at plus 225. Cleveland is at 278. This is a pretty much joke of a game. Don't like it at all. I mean, if I guess the Browns, I mean, the Giants can't move the ball. They can't score. Besides neighbors, they have nobody.
I got a theory here.
Browns have been Watson looked a little bit better last week. Browns still have weapons. So, I mean, I do like the Browns. I'm staying away from the spread. I will take the Browns with the money line on that game.
Yeah, well, here's my theory. I think the Browns are going to look really good. Or should I say, Deshaun Watson is going to look really, really good on the road this year.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of his controversy is in the town of Cleveland.
All
these new accusations town of Cleveland. And when you don't feel comfortable in the town you live in, you don't play really well. He looked electric in Jacksonville.
Yeah, he looked
He
a lot better. A lot
zipped
better.
the ball, decision making, all this other. But now we got to go back home where you committed crimes. And I'm at the point where I think that every game that Deshaun Watson plays on the road, he could look electric.
Okay.
Like there's a pattern forming here. Couldn't play a lick against Dallas. We know what Dallas is. And you know what? For all the things the Giants aren't, the defense works really hard for Dable. Daniel Jones is the worst quarterback they ever had. Actually, it's Dave Brown. My dad was a Giants fan. Go look up Dave Brown. It's hilarious. Okay. I would take the 6.5 here with the Giants.
Okay.
I wouldn't even blink at that.
Okay. All right. I like the Browns money line. You'll take the point, 6.5. Fantasy wise, you doing anything in this game? Amari Cooper, you playing Neighbors, Singletary, anybody?
I like Neighbors. That dude is trying to make a name for himself.
Trying. Yes, he's trying.
You know, I like guys that think they're good. But they have talent to back it up. But like Neighbors thinks he was the best receiver in the draft. Maybe he was.
Yeah.
Oh, but like that dude is for real. If he's playing with as bad of a quarterback as everybody says, what do you have? 10 catches, 120 yards last week?
Ridiculous.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know. I've heard cornerbacks. When you hear cornerbacks talk about him, like cornerbacks that used to be in the league, they're like, dude, Neighbors is a problem because you just can't tell. And I'm like, you know, maybe Neighbors is that good. I would start Neighbors every single week. And you know what? He's Saquon Barkley light, and he's wearing the same number. Devin Singletary is a good running back. I don't care what you guys say. Devin Singletary, every single stop he has been at, he lives in the gym. He's hard to take down. He's a running back's running back. He's blue collar with the New York Giants blue jersey on. I like Singletary.
Yeah, I mean, we differ on that. I don't like him. I haven't liked him. If you needed him because somebody was on a bye, I get it, but there's no way ever I would assign a starting role to the guy.
Well, the Bills did. The Bills started.
No, I'm just saying I wouldn't. And again, he was a starter, but that was a running back by committee there. He was the technical starter, but it was a running back by committee.
Well, my whole thing is like others have more talent than him. He's the guy. He's like a Browno. He hangs out in the room so much. You're like, well, he didn't leave, and he's our guy, I guess. Right? Like Dameon Pierce was better talent in the Texans. He didn't work harder than Singletary. Singletary took the job. And that's kind of what he is. He's just going to take the job everywhere. He's kind of like, he's a little bit like Frank Gore on the back end. You're like, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. Okay, well, that was great.
Yeah, but he's not getting any, he's not doing anything now.
Well,
what is he doing?
16 carries, 95 yards, touchdowns last week. That's pretty good.
All right. 1 week, you got me.
He broke a couple runs.
Yeah,
he's the Kirk Cousins of running backs. They're like, what does he do? I'm like, 31 touchdowns. You're like, oh, well, people still don't like him. I know. The diner waitresses closed. They put the close sign up when Kirk.
Listen, it took me 10 years to draft freaking Joe Mixon. All right.
No, diner waitresses see Kirk Cousins and Devin Singletary coming, and they just turn the open sign to close. The manager's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh yeah, those two. Never mind." But I think he's better than people think. Works hard, could find his way to the end zone, especially if the Giants keep this game close. And I believe they will. Oh, but they can't stop it. It's not as bad as you guys think this early. Giants 6.5.
Okay. Just pulling up here real quick. Yeah, like I said, I'm still sticking with Cleveland. Still sticking with Cleveland. I like the money line, not touching the points. I can't fault you for taking the 6.5. That's nice. Not sure what happens there though.
I'm not either, but I just the Giants seem to be playing better every week. Yeah, I know they keep losing, but if you keep losing consistently, like you're moving the ball now. You weren't moving the ball in the first week. Now you're moving the ball, you're kicking field goals. You're not getting in the end zone all the time, but you're leading parts of the game. People, you got to pay attention to how people lose. Right? Michael Jordan used to say, I didn't lose, I learned. Oh, that's a dangerous guy because he doesn't even consider that. He just learned, he sat there the whole time and he's going to figure it out. And I think, listen, Brian Dable not only works really hard for the Giants, but he dropped 60 pounds in the offseason. He works hard. You know, he was overweight, he was bloated, and all he did was run and shed 60 pounds in the offseason. If you think he quit, you're wrong. And I just, to me, I think 6.5 is people not knowing or really understanding what the Browns are. It was an overreaction to what Jacksonville didn't do last week and cover their home field. And now all of a sudden the Browns are good. No, they're not. They're not.
Gotcha. All right. Well, again, I'm not really sold on the Giants. You like Singletary a little bit more than I do, especially against that Browns defense. I don't think either team can score very well. So that's why I'm taking the Browns money line. All right. Moving on. Here's a good game. We got the Houston Texans at the Vikings. Texans giving 1.5, over under 46.5. The Texans money line is at -125. Vikings are at +105. Thoughts on this game?
You know, this is now the public believes in the Vikings. Like now you love me, right? Now you believe in me, but I don't. Okay. I don't care what you did to a San Francisco team that was losing that didn't have 10 players available. You know, and but that doesn't matter because the scheme, it catches up with you every once in a while. It does. You need these guys to finish off runs, finish off plays. And you know, the Vikings, Sam Darnold's never thrown a 97-yard touchdown anywhere.
No, that was a really nice ball that he threw.
It was a great ball.
Yeah.
But
he's definitely playing lights out.
But when Sam Darnold, people don't realize when Sam Darnold gets hit and knocked around a little bit, there's problems. This Texans, and I know Caleb Williams he can't play or read defenses. That's fine. But that Texans team, when he did complete a pass, takes you to the woodshed. They drop you. This Texans defense, forget about the offense. Forget that they have Stroud, Diggs, Collins. This is the Steelers with a real offense. The Texans defense will beat the lights out of you. I'm telling you, man, like I watched it and it wasn't Caleb Williams frustrated. It was him going, man, I can't. They're going to kill the guy when I throw the ball there. And when I throw the ball there, then my guy's going to get up and he's going to be upset. He didn't know how to attack the defense because they were absolutely smacking everybody. And I know that the Vikings are getting 1.5. It should probably be 3. And if they didn't beat the 49ers, it would be getting 3. And I think that this is a misprice. What do you feel like?
What concerns me a little bit is Mixon's out for this game. That's going to hurt the Texans a little bit. They've been leaning on him quite a bit, which I like, which isn't really a surprise because the Texans, as much as they like to throw it, Ryan likes to run the ball down people's throat too. So this is a tough game for me. I've seen what Minnesota did to my Niners, but again, LaFleur's defense always does that to the Niners' offense. I should say Kyle Shanahan's offense. I don't know why. My gut tells me the Texans this game, just because of all the weapons they do have. I mean, I guess I'm going money line Texans on this game.
Yeah, and that's exactly where you should be because that's where you're actually getting value. Okay,
yes.
You're getting Stroud and the boys. Just if this game was preseason and the Vikings didn't beat the 49ers, what would the spread be?
Yeah.
5.5? Vikings getting 5.5 at home? I mean,
Yeah.
like let's talk about you're getting Sam Darnold, Justin Jefferson, not Jordan
Yeah,
Addison,
he's out.
an Aaron Jones that has looked better than advertised.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you, this Texans team could decleat Aaron Jones, and he's standing on the sideline in the second quarter.
Oh,
I'm being.
absolutely.
I've watched them. This
Mhm.
is Rocky 3 Clubber Lang knocking dudes out, and you're like, who the hell is that guy? And I didn't even care about the offense. I took the over. I took the over 38 and a half.
Mhm.
Bears Texans. That should be easy, right? Wrong.
Yeah.
Loser, you lost because the Bears defense is good and the Texans defense will knock you the hell out.
Mhm.
I Sam Darnold might not make it through. He ain't a tough kid. He's a surfer kid from California.
That Jones, then Chandler came in. Chandler had a nice game. He's a nice change of pace back. He was a nice change of pace back to last year when they talked him up.
They're gonna kill him.
So
They're gonna. I promise you, this team is gonna kill him, and they'll look a little bit different because they're on turf and they're in Minnesota. But I'm telling you, D'Amico Ryans has these dudes roaring.
yeah, I don't think they're going to kill him. I think it's going to be a really close game. I could see it being a 3-point game. Last second field goal winning it. I do like the Texans in this. I think they just have a little bit more than the Vikings. Again, you throw Addison in there. I think you're talking a little bit different. I forget who their rookie wide receiver is, but he had a decent week too. Last week he had a couple key catches in the game. So I mean, I don't love the Texans 100% in this game. I think it's going to be very close, but my gut says the Texans, they just have a little too much.
I'd be shocked if the Vikings won. Absolutely 49ers stunned.
Mm-hmm.
49ers stunned.
Okay. So then fantasy wise, who would we like in this game?
Well, I like a guy that holds grudges.
Mm-hmm.
That's just that's because I hold grudges sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes I like to do that. And, the Vikings didn't want to keep Stephon Diggs once upon a time, and they traded him for all these draft picks. And you know the kind of guy Stephon Diggs is. He's going to be sitting there going, oh, yeah? Okay. Remember, by the way, remember the guy who won everything here and sent you to the Minnesota Miracle? That was me. I would love loading Stephon Diggs everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that, just because he's going to walk over to CJ Stroud and he's going to go, dude, I need to crush this team.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of guy Stephon Diggs is. And I think CJ Stroud is happy to look off Nico Collins this time. And, maybe Nico Collins partied a little late last night, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's not this big partier, but Michigan did have a big win against USC. And if you don't think these things happen, folks, you're wrong. I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
Follow the stash. I'm telling you, that was a huge win against USC late in the game. Nico Collins is a Michigan guy. And I'm telling you right now, Diggs wants all of Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Listen, for you guys that likes to point out our losses like a certain Chef Nick does, our bet the house picks that we bet, not only are we wrong, but 90% of the professionals that are betting and the people that are picking on your NFL shows are picking too. We're picking basically the same ones that they are. There's not one person that you can find that picked the Vikings to beat the Niners last week.
No.
All right. So you can go ahead. You could throw your little knocks against us. We're up here making the picks, not you.
I got another bet your house this week too. And if you don't bet your house, you'll look silly.
Again, those picks are same picks that most people are picking. Not only are we wrong, but they were wrong too. But you don't want to talk about the other 80% of the picks that we were right on.
By the way, why don't you have the guts to make it? Why don't you have the guts to take the money out of the bank and lose?
There you go.
Right?
There you go. All right.
Take the money out of the bank and have the guts to lose like a man. right? Go
Yeah,
overtime
no.
because you
Yeah, like
lost.
I lost.
But you
Like I
played.
lost. Oh, we made it back. We made it back.
But you played. If you don't play, you're the loser.
There you go. Got to play to win. All
That's
right.
right.
So moving on, we got the Packers at the Titans. Packers are getting +3. Over under is 37. Packers are at +136 money line. Titans are at -162 money line. This is your boy Levitz. What do you think?
Yeah, but there's a lot more than it is. There's a lot more to this game than just Levis, right? Like there are still people in the building. No, actually, they're not. There is nobody in that building anymore that believed that Malik Willis was any good.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Malik Willis is the starter for the Packers. It is not Jordan Love. So it's a little bit different here. Okay. Malik Willis cannot throw the ball. Malik Willis went to Liberty. His athletic skills looked good in a minor conference.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He won last week because they ran the wheels off of Jacob. 34 rushes. Yeah, it was great. Yep. But you ran the wheels off a guy because you don't have a quarterback that can throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, the other team that knows that you don't have a quarterback that can throw the ball is the Tennessee Titans because they've seen it firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
There are defenders. There are defensive coaches that know how to play to every single one of Malik Willis's weaknesses. So get rid of the whole Will Levis. Malik Willis can't throw you to a victory here. And you can't hide behind Josh Jacobs this time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, and I think, and by the way, the Titans do have, because of all his deficiencies, that ball that he threw Ridley last week took some guts.
Yeah.
Will Levis is a real quarterback. And he doesn't have the love in the media that Trevor Lawrence does, but the stats are close.
Mm-hmm.
The stats are very close, ladies and gentlemen. Will Levis is Trevor Lawrence light. And you know what? He's got a cannon, and he can throw the damn thing. And he makes mistakes sometimes, but he looks really amazing other times. Right? And there's no way the Titans are losing this game. This would be a bet your house. But I mean, I can't put the house on this one because I got a better one for you guys later. But the Titans are going to win this game. The Titans have been in, by the way, every game they played. Will Levis went toe-to-toe with Aaron Rodgers. Did he not? They were knocking on the door, and he shoveled a pass, and it ended up not being caught. But he needed to do that to get out of trouble. There was nobody open in the back of the end zone. It was 4th down. You know, and the coach staff's like, well, 2 shovel passes in a row. Hey, man, what do you want me to do? You want me to just take the sack and the game's over? We try to do something here. I think that Will Levis is going to be just fine. And I think that the Packers can't hide behind their major deficiency this week. Matt LaFleur's doing a fantastic job. But sooner or later, the guy that gets the ball to throw it has to throw it.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's not
I do not like the Titans in this game. I really don't. I just think I feel opposite of Levitz as you do. I just think that he turns the ball over at the most unopportune time. He is the reason why that team has lost, not anybody else. He's lost those games.
We found out
I don't see them start. What's that?
Played a good Bears defense and a good Jets defense.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I get it. I get it.
Defense good?
Yeah.
No, they aren't.
I think they could be just enough. Just enough. I do like Josh Jacobs again. What's that?
You're almost tempting me to start Levis this week. Better be careful.
I do like Josh Jacobs again this week. I think they're going to lean heavily on him. Again, I want to take the Titans. I really do because I don't see them starting out 0-3.
Greg, it's going to be 14-3 at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, but it was 17-0 against the Bears.
But that wasn't all Levis. He threw a pick. Oh, I understand. He threw a pick, but they also had a punt.
A block punt. I get it. The block punt, scoop up for a touchdown. That hurts.
Doesn't happen
But
in
I'm
the
just
National Football League. That happens in high school leagues.
listen. I get it. It's just
So you got high
he
school
just
special
turns
team
the ball
coaching.
over.
Yeah, but every quarterback turns the ball over.
Yeah, but at the most unopportune times.
And again,
they were winning. You're winning. You turn the ball over. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. For that fact alone, I am taking the Packers money line.
Don't do that.
I'm just saying what I'm taking. Taking Packers money line.
Oh, okay, but don't bet your real money. I mean, I'm telling you, Vegas is
I will
telling
take the plus 136 and throw $5 on the game and go for
God. Do you want to just give? You want to do a bet with me? Listen. No, I'm serious. I'll bet this game. You like the Packers so much? I'll do it. I'll bet you $10 on air on the Titans money line.
All right, I'll take the Packers straight up.
I'll Venmo you that money.
All right.
100%.
Absolutely.
All right, put it on the board, guys.
All right, $10. I got the Packers. He has the Titans.
That's right. All right. Nice.
We already teased a little bit on who we like fantasy-wise. Jack loves Levitt's fantasy. He actually started him this week. We all heard that. And I like Josh Jacobs. Do you like anybody else in this game?
Quiet, and no one cares. But and he didn't do a lot last week. We found out that the Jets' run defense is really good, but Tony Pollard's good. Pollard got the little bit of fire back, right? Mm-hmm. Tony Pollard's got a little something. Tajay Spears is not gonna play today. Banged up, questionable. So Tony Pollard could be looking at 20 carries, and maybe, I'm not saying yes, but I am gonna say maybe 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
Maybe he gets loose inside that. He likes that 20 to 25 yard gap where he could see the end zone, right? And he can break a tackle and bounce. I would load Tony Pollard here. And maybe if you're looking for tight end help, I'm going to try as a Chizzy Ugnapu. I did my best there.
Listen, you're way closer than I would be.
But I do like Levis targets. I really do. I think Levis is going to I think he's going to drop I would predict 22 fantasy points from Levis this week. 8 week 1. 13 last week. It would have been better without the turnovers. I think 22 this week.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Next game on the docket. We got the Bears at the Colts. Bears are getting 1.5. Over unders 44. Money line Bears are at plus 102. Money line the Colts are at negative 122. This game is going to be sneaky. Bears have a really, really good defense. Offense is very questionable with Caleb Williams right now. And the Colts can't seem to score either.
Yeah, so the trick to Anthony Richardson is that he can run. Sure. But the trick to him is he likes to get the ball deep.
Yeah.
He doesn't find the intermediate windows. He's all gas. And
he doesn't like the dump offs, nothing like that.
He doesn't. Everybody goes, well, he's the opposite of Bo Nix, but I don't think he can do what Bo Nix does.
No.
It's just not in his DNA. At Florida, they were absolute rainbows, right?
Yeah.
And I think that there's a real sneaky fantasy wide receiver here that people haven't been looking at. And I compared him earlier on, and I think he's starting to remind me of him. I think Alec Pierce reminds me a little bit of Mike Evans.
Okay.
He's fast. He's 6'4". He gets behind the defense. Nobody thinks he's fast. Oh, but Jack, he can't be. Listen to me. Mike Evans had Johnny Manziel and made him look very good at college. Okay. Alec Pierce had Desmond Ridder, who is not in the league right now because he was so bad. He couldn't even back up Kyler Murray. That's how bad Desmond Ridder was. He lost Arthur Smith his job in Atlanta last year.
Mm-hmm.
So now you sit there and you go, oh God, maybe Alec Pierce made him look so good at Cincinnati. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
starting to think that Alec Pierce, slowly and surely, could be a real guy. I don't think it's Pittman Jr. I don't think it's Adonai Mitchell. I think they want it to be. But you know
Mm-hmm.
what? I think that Richardson's starting to get real comfortable with Pierce.
Okay.
This Bears defense, like you said, is good.
Mm-hmm.
Borderline great.
Yeah. Yep.
I guess the most I like here is I kind of think the over. I think Caleb Williams looks much better
Mm-hmm.
against the Colts defense that doesn't crack you like Houston.
No. Yeah. Absolutely.
So I think he feels more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And Anthony Richardson is not here to play second fiddle as well. He will be on the gas pedal. I like over 43.5.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to go with the a gut feeling here with the Bears money line, taking the
I like
plus
that bet.
102. I like getting a little bit of almost even money here.
I like that. That's a fantastic bet. That's a really good bet
So,
because it's not as bad as everybody thinks with Caleb Williams. But I'm telling you I'm telling you, Pierce is a real deal.
yeah. Yep. I mean, I could easily see the Colts end up winning this game. I could see it. I mean, but right now, I just the Bears defense is playing really good. Anthony Richardson isn't playing the way everybody thought he was going to play. Like you said, he has no check down or intermediate throw. It's all gas with him. It's either we're running it or I'm chucking it 30 yards down the field. So I think that's just enough for the Bears to come by, sneak away with this win.
And I didn't know this, but apparently Alec Pierce is 4.44 or 4.38, 4.39 speed, and he's
Okay.
6'2", and he
How
runs
long
good.
has he been? How long has he been in the league for?
He was a rookie last year, and he
Okay,
started
second year.
him and Minshew started getting rolling,
Uh-huh.
and then Minshew spread it around, and then Taylor came back, so they wanted to get Taylor involved. But
Mhm.
I'm telling you, Alec Pierce through 2 games has 2 touchdowns and real yards and real highlights. And I'm
Mhm.
like, man, he reminds me of Mike Evans.
And
And,
with the running quarterback, that's tough.
by the way, Anthony Richardson could be Winston.
Mhm.
Jameis Winston, that's who he could be. Lots of yards. He's got himself a Mike Evans and Alec Pierce. We try to predict these things ahead of time, and you got to trust your eyes. And that's what my eyes say. My eyes say, I picked Alec Pierce up everywhere, by the way. I lost Cooper Kupp in every league. And I'm not going to sit
Yeah.
here and wait for Sean McVay to go, well, he's day to day. I'm day to day. I'm on
Mhm.
fire today because I had coffee. I feel good. I'm running around, I'm moving around, right? I'm day to day. Yesterday, sluggish. I'm day to day, Sean McVay. I don't want to hear this day to day jargon bull. Okay,
Mhm.
let me know whether the guy's ankle's swollen or not. Do I need to come to the facility? I want to see that foot. But I'm loading Alec Pierce. I'm sitting there going,
Mhm.
Cooper Kupp's best years are behind him. I'm over it. What's he gonna be back by week 9? I'm just gonna sit there and look at him on my bench. Done looking.
Yeah.
Give me Alec Pierce,
Yeah.
and you should pick him up too.
I already picked up Cup, so don't worry about it.
Good.
Yeah, I have 3 people on my bench that are currently on the IR. Well, Cup's not on the IR, but you might as well say he is. And then I have Chubb and Hawkinson.
Yeah, but Kupp's not gonna be available until week 9.
I don't need him right now, though. I don't need him. I'm just saying I don't need him.
I wouldn't even eat dinner with him. He'd break the glass and cut his hand.
Wow. Okay. All right. Won't break bread with the guy. Okay.
I won't either.
Okay, so next on the docket, we got the Carolina Panthers at the Las Vegas Raiders. Panthers are getting 5.5. Over under is 40. Panthers are at plus 200 money line. Raiders are at negative 245 money line. This is my bet the house pick right here.
Is it?
Yes, with the Raiders. Andy Dalton is starting. He hasn't played in how long? Raiders defense is playing tough. Antonio Pierce just has that team rolling right now. So I like the Raiders a lot this game.
And I like that you said all the right things, right? Because Andy Dalton hasn't played in a while. The speed is going to be a little different. The Raiders are one of those teams. Listen, Nobody thinks it's a big deal. Antonio Pierce brought in Hugh Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
and he brought in Tom Coughlin to his training camp. You know, that Tom Coughlin, who
Mm-hmm.
is his former coach, to kind of help him, learn to mold and all these other things. Antonio Pierce is no fool. He's not an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what he doesn't know, and he brings in people to help him mold and help guide and stuff like that. I believe that I think the Raiders win this game probably heavily.
Yeah. Yeah. I like this game a lot.
Fantasy players I like or love Deontay Johnson to finally catch a touchdown.
Okay. Finally.
Because Andy Dalton could read defenses. I don't know what Bryce
Yeah.
Young's. I don't think he could see over the line, and he can't guesstimate well enough in this league. That's just people are. There's guys out there willing to trade for him. Are there? Maybe that's his agent.
Yeah, I think there is. I mean, and I know every NFL coach thinks they could do something more with the quarterback that another team has.
Yeah, and the team that's willing to trade for him is Miami, by the way. In case you guys are wondering, Skylar Thompson or Bryce Young. Well, I wonder.
I would love to see what Mike McDaniels could do with Bryce Young.
I
really do.
I think he would do a lot of the same stuff that he does with Tua. In my opinion, Tua is a gadget quarterback as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bryce Young is smart. I think him and Tua could kind of get along. That would be a good move, but you're going to have to give a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to give.
Oh yeah, they're not just going to get rid of them.
You'd have to give me a first and second round so that I can move them, so that Dave Canales, can get the quarterback for which I want, and it's not Bryce Young. And by the way, to bench a rookie or not a second-year player, when you get him, like there's a personality disconnect as well.
Mm-hmm.
Canales doesn't like you, and Canales likes everybody.
Yeah,
I just want to say that. Because, he had question marks coming into Tampa. He had Kyle Trask and Baker, and he had nice things to say about everybody. And, they asked him last week, what he thought about, will Bryce Young get his job back? And he said, we're moving forward with Andy Dalton. I went, wow, you're a nice guy, and said it like that. That was interesting to me. Because he is patty cake nice.
It's one of those things, too. He doesn't want to get fired. He needs to start winning something.
I know, I understand that, but like he's a really nice guy, and he didn't offer anything nice to say. And usually he's like, well, we'll see, we'll revisit that. He's a revisit guy, and everything's on the table. Shut it down. I thought that was wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because I've seen a lot of his press conferences because I'm down here in Florida, and he was Tampa Bay's OC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they follow him a little bit more down there.
Real positive. I mean, Baker throw 2 picks. He's like, what Baker saw was right. The cornerback just came over the top at the last second. The wide receivers got to help him out a little bit there. Like all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing here.
No, nothing. All right. Okay. So we both like the Raiders in this. Again, this is a bet my house pick. Bet your house pick. My house. Whoever's house you want to bet, you can bet it.
Not yet. Not yet.
All right,
guys.
Next on the docket, we got Miami Dolphins at Seattle Seahawks. Dolphins are getting 4 over-unders 42. Dolphins are at plus 170. Seattle's at negative 205. Thoughts on this game?
I mean, Seattle. It's a Miami team that hadn't played since Thursday night, since they lost their leader. You can say whatever you want to say about Skylar Thompson, but don't sit here and go, well, maybe. Don't do that.
Yeah.
He never pushed Tua for the job ever.
Yeah.
Right. There's never been any Skylar Thompson talk out of camp. There's reasons why.
Yeah.
So I think that Mike McDaniels is going to have to put together his best packages and try to maneuver the ball. But I mean, this game's at 4.5 for a reason, and it'd be probably at 7 if Kenneth Walker was playing, which he's not. So there's
he's not.
There's not much to say here. It's not my bet your house because I've seen upsets like this happen. But I take Seattle on the money line.
Yeah, I like Seattle in this for pretty much the same reason I like the Raiders over Carolina. They're starting a quarterback that hasn't played. Um, Even when they do play, they're not very good. I mean, the Dolphins still have Tyreek Hill and Waddle. That's why I'm giving them a a puncher's chance.
Yeah,
But I like Seattle all day in this game, money line. Not touching the spread for the fact that when you have two explosive wide receivers like that, you have explosive running backs. You never know what could happen with speed. So
I agree.
I like Seattle here, and again, Seattle's playing at home. At home with a quarterback that hasn't played. Man, we all know how loud Seattle is. I couldn't tell you how many false starts we're probably going to see in this game.
I agree. Yeah, I don't even want to watch this game. How about that? I don't know
Do you
what-
like anybody still for Miami? Do you still like their big three at all? A-Chain, Waddle, and Hill. You sitting anybody because of Skyler?
No, I like A-Chain. I don't, I actually like Waddle better. I don't think
Mhm.
Tua sees Waddle well.
Mhm.
I think that Tua throws to Hill very well, but I don't
Mhm.
think he sees Waddle as well in the windows or even deep. I don't think he throws a great ball for him or hasn't at
Mhm.
least this season. So I guess I like Waddle a little bit better. I think Thompson's going to be prepared, but I just, this, by the way, Seattle's a top 10 defense in the league, and now they're at
Mhm.
home. So at home, and you're a top 10 defense, it probably boosts you to a top 5. This is not a great spot.
Yeah. I like Seattle here also.
All
All
right,
right.
what else we got?
Next on the docket, we
On
got
the
the
docket.
injury-plagued Rams at 49ers. Or sorry, 49ers at Rams this time. Niners are giving 6. Over-unders 44.5. 49ers are at negative 278 money line. Rams are at 225 money line. Both teams have tremendous amount of injuries right now.
Mhm.
Rams are lucky to even be able to field a team right now. San Francisco are out without a couple of their key guys. We all know McCaffrey's out still. Kittle's out this game, and Debo is out for a couple weeks too. So I mean, it's a lot gone for the Niners, but I still think
Debo's out.
2 weeks.
Did you think 2 weeks?
That's what they're saying. 2 weeks.
Yeah,
With Shanahan now after the whole McCaffrey's playing 45 minutes before the game. He's not playing, and everybody knew Friday, except for everybody else in the world. I don't know now.
By the
I
way,
have no
do
idea.
you know what Debo's injury is?
I don't remember, to be honest.
It's a calf strain.
Calf strain.
Calf strain. You know who else had a calf strain?
That ended up being Achilles.
Christian McCaffrey had a calf strain. I wonder if the calf strain is the new Achilles.
I don't know.
I think it is. I think it is. I think Debo's going to miss real time. I think Kittle's banged up, but he'll be back probably in the 2-week time frame.
Yeah.
So in the worst of times, in the best of times, these teams play to 3 points. They're very much the West Coast version of the Ravens Steelers.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. They always play each other tough. Right there, the score is always close.
Right, the score is always close. In the worst of times, the score is always close.
Mm-hmm.
This is mispriced. This is priced because of what happened to the Rams last week against Arizona. This is a misprice. I would take the Rams.
The Rams are missing just as many people though as the Niners,
which makes them even.
Especially on that offensive line.
Which makes them even.
Mm-hmm.
It evens them right out, and I believe that this is the worst of times for both teams. The worst they'll look all year. And I don't know about the over-under, but I would like to have the 6 points because I think there's going to be a plethora of field goals here. I don't think either team's going to be able to move the ball with any fluidity, and it's just going to be McVay versus Shanahan body blows. I want the points in a game like that. It's Stafford Purdy with a bunch of guys out there. You got Ayuk and who else, right? I know Jennings, but nobody really likes him.
Yeah, but Jennings, he's sneaky good.
I know, but if they really like him, they would have told Ayuk to walk. They don't care.
Well, I mean, I'm not even remotely putting him in the same talent as Ayuk, but he's definitely, you know, a solid number 3 wide receiver.
I agree, but he's got to be a 2 or a 1
Mm-hmm.
because you got no Kittle and no Debo. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
it's really interesting. I don't like this. I don't like the spread. I know you'll probably take the Niners money line, which is a good bet.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But
Like the Niners money line. Shanahan is 10-5 against McVay as a head coach. That was a
it's a
quick
coin
stat
flip.
I wanted to pull up. What's that?
This game is more of a coin flip than the 6.5 suggests.
Oh yeah. No, and again, I'm not touching the points. I could easily see this being a 3-point game, but I think
Yep.
I think the Niners win this because of one reason, and that's because the Rams' offensive line is so depleted, and 49ers' strength is their defensive line, and I think that's where it's going to be won. Is right there. I think Stafford's going to be under duress for most of the game. I could see him easily throwing a couple picks. So yeah, what's that?
I wonder if Moody misses one and the 49ers win by 3.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he could very well. I mean, he's been pretty much lights out, but he has been known to miss one of those mid-rangers, like a 40-yard field goal. So, but yeah, it's definitely more of a coin flip than it would be if both teams were healthy. But I do like the Niners this game. Money line wise, 278. That's kind of high. You're not going to see much return on your money, but you pair that with the parlay somewhere. I don't see an issue.
$278 and you make $100.
What's that?
Just bet $278 and you make $100. I do it all the time.
Well, that's a lot. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. It's a day's work.
Money. Who do you like fantasy wise this game?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Okay.
I like Jordan Mason. I
think they're gonna put $9.
What's that?
I think the Rams know that they're bad defensively and they're gonna put 9 in the box.
Mm-hmm.
I
do that. I think Purdy has just enough on offense where he can carve them up.
If you don't have to, don't start anyone in this game. I'm telling you the truth.
Mm-hmm. I like Jordan Mason. I like Ayuk to finally step up in this game. For the Rams, I couldn't even tell you who their wide receivers are now. Now that Kupp and Puka is out.
You got DeMarcus Robinson.
Yeah,
you got Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson had some nice moments in Tampa, but he's not a number 1.
Yeah.
You know, lackluster. That's the word I'm writing down right now, right on top of this game. Lackluster. I don't,
if you guys absolutely, you guys are depleted. Somebody's hurt. You guys don't really have anybody. You could throw Juwan Jennings in at your flex. That wouldn't be a bad move. He's going to be the number 2 today. Ayuk's going to be the number 1. So yeah, I like more and more I talk about it. I'm liking the Niners more and more. I'm not liking them the -6 or giving 6, but I do like them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, all right, moving on to our Detroit Lions and Arizona Cardinals. Lions are giving 3 over-unders 51.5. Lions are at -148 money line. Cardinals are at +124 money line.
I'm not sure here.
I like this game. I want to watch this game. Of course, I'm going to be watching the Niners game, but this is a game that I would love to watch. I'm with you. I don't know this game. I mean, the Cardinals are looking really good. Detroit still looks good, but they look beatable too.
I think Detroit looks stupid. Their head coach is an idiot. Dan Campbell is he's a great motivator. But if I sat Dan Campbell down right here, I don't care how massive a man he is. He is. I would, Dan, you do realize that you didn't prepare your team to kick a field goal before halftime and then come back out with did you not realize that you had the ball first at home and you kicked the field goal here? Did you not realize that? Because Tampa wasn't, by the way, Baker Mayfield was sacked 5 times last week. So it wasn't like he was moving the ball every drive. Aiden Hutchinson was beating the tackle.
Yeah.
Did you not pay attention to the game? What were you not paying attention to? Because it seems like all of it. And he's like, he goes, my team played better this week, but I messed up. I don't care if you own up to your mistakes. You're the leader. It's still a mistake.
Mhm.
Like, I'm getting to the point with Dan Campbell where if I'm looking at a 3-point game like this and Kyler Murray's figuring out how to run everywhere and make plays, I think you're going to do something stupid.
Mhm.
Am I out of line by saying that? Because he's done it
No, he
lots of times
definitely
already.
could. He definitely could. I mean,
Against
Detroit's a
Dallas
winner,
last
so I mean that's why he's getting more leeway than he would if they were losing.
well, I mean, what was it? He lost 2 games so far in his coaching tenure, which has been what, 2 years, 3 years?
Three, three.
Yeah.
This is
He
the
lost to
third.
Dallas last year when they threw plenty of flags to let
Mhm.
him know that you should kick the field goal here and not go for 2. Lost that. He went for 2, 3 times. I
Yeah.
literally looked at the TV, I go, "This guy's an idiot." And last week, I went, "Okay, well, Jared Goff doesn't move very well." I think we know that. He's the Drew
Mhm.
Bledsoe of this era. He can sling it, he just can't move. So if by chance Tampa was able to sack him, which they weren't, but he kind of took up a little time, got out of his feet, and he threw the ball in the middle of the field. He wasn't able to get out of trouble. Like,
Mhm.
how does Dan Campbell? How do I know that? How can I
Mhm.
make better decisions than Dan Campbell? Because Dan Campbell does stupid things. And I know he's emotional and he's a great leader. Here, I'm going to explain to you about great leaders. Sometimes they tell you, "Hey, man, we're going to go up over that hill and we're going to take on that army." And sometimes you come out victorious. But the truth is that there's 15 of us, and that's an army. Right? That's a real problem.
Mhm.
Somebody should be doing math for the group and go, "Okay, I have to kill 20 guys on my own. Bob, you got to kill 20 guys. Dale, you got to kill 20 guys. This is the only way we could be successful. You kick the field goal. You don't take the
Mhm.
chance."
Mhm.
And
He's
you
been
know,
like that though. He was like that last year. That's the reason why they lost to the Niners.
yeah, well, we can call it stupid though, right? He does
Oh,
stupid things.
I agree with you 100%.
Well,
But ultimately, I still think he's a good coach. He motivates his team. His team follows him even through those stupid decisions.
yeah, I think he's a great motivator. His coaching, I wish he was a little bit more like Vrabel.
Yeah. You know.
Because if you start losing closer games like this, if you lose games where you have to make real decisions, like he's only had to make real decisions like 3 times, and he's 0 for
Mhm.
3. He's 0 for 3. He's over. San Francisco blew it,
Mhm.
blew it, right? Blew it against Dallas, blew it against Tampa. Oh, Todd
Mhm.
Bowles isn't a good coach either. Outcoached Dan,
Mhm.
outcoached Dan easily. And that was with a Mayfield interception where Mayfield ran off the field. Tabo smiled at him, and he goes, "Did you think that was a good throw? Do you think that was a good interception?" Like a half crazy guy.
Mhm.
So Spears is playing. It doesn't matter. What's he going to get? 4 carries. Spears is
Yeah,
playing.
he might get a little bit more than 4, but he's not going to make the difference.
No. We appreciate that though, Nick. Thank you. But I don't think Tajay Spears makes it. I just don't like Dan Campbell's going to make a mistake, and I can't put my money on guys that make mistakes.
Mhm. Actually, that's who I just dropped to pick up Cooper Kupp that you dropped.
Who?
I just dropped Ty Spears last night to pick up Cooper Kupp that you dropped.
Oh yeah, he had to be dropped.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's who's replacing Spears for me is Cooper Kupp. So I can let him sit on my bench until he's healthy.
My whole thing is that when Cooper Kupp comes back, he's not going to be used fully. That happens. I know what McVay does. So if you see him in week 7, that's fine. 2 catches,
Mhm.
15, 20 yards. Like they're going to bring him along slowly, and I don't have time to wait. I think there's better players out there right now.
Mhm.
All right, so we
Okay.
you know what? Give me the Cards at home +3. I don't believe in Detroit. I don't. I think he'll make mistakes.
Mhm. I'm gonna take Detroit here on the money line. Um, to be honest, I'm not taking this game at all.
I'm not either.
But if I was forced to make a pick here, I would take Detroit money line. This game could go either way. It really could. Cards are playing at a really high level with last week I was like, well, Marvin Harrison Jr. He didn't have a catch, didn't do nothing. Week 1, what does he do? Last week he goes out and kills it, 135 yards receiving.
Actually, you convinced me. I'll switch. I'll go money line Lions. They lost last week at home in Tampa. No, but
I like to bounce. I like a bounce back. I
do want to state the truth. He does stupid things when you're like,
absolutely.
"Brother, I can't. Why would you do that?" And that's I don't think he'll get out coached here, but it's worth saying.
All right, next on the docket, we got oh wait, no, who do we like fantasy wise this game?
David Montgomery's been starting to be used less and less already. So I really like Gibbs here. I just got a feeling this could be a Gibbs game. This could be, he looks fast. He looks 2 touchdowns. Like he's tearing up the cards. I really like, if I had to choose, I would say Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay.
That's who I like the best. Laporta might have to start.
Okay. I like Gibbs. I like Marvin Harrison in this game, junior. And I could see Connor getting a touchdown or 2.
Yeah, that's a good call. Connor's been doing well. I just,
he has. He's been tearing it up lately. All right, next we got the final 4:00 game. We got Jack's Baltimore Ravens against the Dallas Cowboys. Ravens giving 1. Over unders 47.5. Ravens money lines -118. Dallas is 102. This is basically a pick'em game, guys.
It is a pick'em.
And
who should you pick?
Who do you like?
You couldn't, dude. There's no way you can convince me that Dallas is going to win this game. They're not. Baltimore's 0-2. Baltimore is 0-2. They need to win a game, right? Dallas has beaten Cleveland and gotten absolutely slammed up against the wall by the Saints. Right. And the thing is that I think this game is close, but I think Baltimore wins it. And it's actually good news for Dallas because Dallas hasn't lost a close game in forever. They get absolutely thrown up against the wall and their wallets are taken. I think it's Baltimore. They have I would guess that Lamar Jackson has 4 minutes and 50 seconds left at the end of the game. He uses those legs to get them down to about the 30, and Tucker finishes it off. Baltimore wins by 2.
Okay. I like Baltimore also in this game. I don't think Dallas is going to be able to do enough to contain Lamar from running. I think Lamar is going to have his way on running the ball. I think it's going to be closer than what people like, just like the spread says. I think it's going to be really close. I could see it coming down to Tucker winning the game at the end, winning by 2. Yeah, I like the Ravens on this game. Money line.
I like Derrick Henry too. I know that it hasn't been great, but I think that John Harbaugh is going to stick with the fact that if you wear down Dallas's D line, Lamar can run later in games. And I think you're going to get a heavy dose of Derrick Henry early. I don't know whether Dak and the boys can move the ball consistently. And I'm telling you, there are going to be McCarthy is going to be shopping at luggage places because he is going to be out. Listen, here's the one thing you need to know about Dallas. There were 3 people that were important to get signed this offseason, right? They signed Dak Prescott. They signed CeeDee Lamb. But they did not sign McCarthy.
No.
Because he's gone. He's gone. The players know it. And the players know it. The players have stopped playing for McCarthy in Dallas already. That's my
Could this be a situation where we talked about earlier on one of our podcasts way earlier in the year that can McCarthy get fired and Belichick get hired?
No, he won't embarrass him. No. Jones will not embarrass a coach. Jones, for all the Jerry Jones, but Jerry Jones will not embarrass. Jerry Jones will only embarrass you if he doesn't like you. then you're getting embarrassed. Or if you have said something out of line about him, then you're out. He'll let McCarthy finish because he won't be able to hire Belichick if he does another way. Because Belichick's a man of honor. And Bill Belichick will go, I don't like what you did to McCarthy. And I don't think it was fair. And I would love to come in here and help the team. But the truth is that I would never put myself in that position. And I don't think you should have put McCarthy in that position. You let someone finish the job. As bad as things were going up in New England at times, Mr. Kraft let me finish my job, and then I was taken out. And I just believe that that's the way it's going to be. He's going to ride with McCarthy, and McCarthy's not coming back. And then, then you're going to see Bill. And I got a whole podcast coming your way about all that. Where'd you go, Greg? Where'd you go on me? Disappeared? All right. I like Baltimore in that game. Over 47.5. I don't know what to think about that, but we'll take the Ravens. All right. Let's move on to our next game there he is. Back.
We are back.
All right. Where's your docket at?
Let's see here. Let's see here. We both decided we both like the Ravens that game.
Yep.
Next, we got Sunday Night Football. We got the Chiefs at the Falcons. Chiefs are giving 3. Over unders 46.5. Chiefs money lines -162. Falcons are at +136. This I have no idea why it's only 3. This makes absolutely no sense.
Come on, do better than that. It makes a lot of sense.
No, what? Because Falcons won last week?
No, because the Chiefs have looked worse week after week. They won week 1. Great. They got a victory in week 2. They did not win that game. Cincinnati won the game and made mistakes late and let Kansas City win. They didn't let them win, but they let them back in the game. Kansas City has gotten sloppier and sloppier as the weeks have gone on. Now, Atlanta played the best defense in the league week 1. Then they played a very good defense in Philly, and they got out of Philly with a victory. Atlanta is getting better every single week. And if Joe Burrow didn't make that mistake last week, Cincinnati would have gotten out of there.
See, but I think they were getting their Cincinnati's best shot last week with Cincinnati. They didn't want to start out 0-2. So I think that's why. Chiefs got Cincinnati's best shot. But the Chiefs still came out with the victory.
You're going to get Atlanta's best shot in Atlanta. And by the way, you're getting Cousins, you're getting Robinson, you're getting Pitts, you're getting London. You're getting they keep looking at Atlanta like Atlanta's a joke. Atlanta's got real players there. Like Burrow's got Jamar Chase, but he doesn't have T. Higgins, and he had a myriad of tight ends that he was running out there, and he doesn't have the real running back pounder that he has. Atlanta's second best running back is better than anything that Cincinnati has in Algier. I think, you know what? I'm doing it. The Falcons win, and the Chiefs have to clean their football up.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Yeah, their football's sloppy.
Okay. I like the Chiefs in this game. I'm taking a money line. I don't like the -3. That something sneaky's about that.
I know.
But I still think the Chiefs come away with the victory on this game. I don't see how the Falcons can keep up with them. I really don't.
Yeah, well, we're gonna find out because the Chiefs again. They're continuing to get sloppier, and now you're in somebody else's home where the referees are going to be favorable to them, and you like to hold a lot, and the Chiefs aren't a clean team, and they're not.
No, they're definitely not. But the Falcons, they might have weapons, but they haven't used them consistently or shown that they could. I mean, Landon was drafted how many years ago? And last game was the first game he even showed up. And that was just the end of the game. That was just that long touchdown pass. So you take that away, I mean, we're talking a different story here.
I think they get rolling. And by the way, Bijan Robinson rolled last week.
No, he's a stud. I mean, we knew that when he was getting drafted, he was a stud.
He rolled last week. I think Cousins goes over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns here. Kansas City doesn't scare me at all. They don't.
Okay. All right. Okay. I like Kansas City this game. You like the Falcons. Fantasy wise, who do we like?
Yeah, I like Bijan Robinson.
Mhm.
I think Kyle Pitts is becoming a physical player instead of just. I think he's becoming a real football player. So give me Bijan, give me Kyle Pitts. There's a guy out there and he thinks he's real good, and I like him because Kirk Cousins is noticing what he is. His name is Ray McLeod in Atlanta, and he's like this Z wide receiver, but he'll go
for the Niners the last couple of years, played for the Steelers before that.
But nobody noticed that he thinks he's good. He's the whoever the dude was that Jerry Maguire was representing. That's who this guy is, right? Show me the money, Ray McLeod, right? Show me the money. That's who Ray is. And you know what? You need a guy like that. You just need guys like that to make plays. And the guy who's going to make the play for Atlanta this week will probably be Ray McLeod.
The one of the reasons why Pittsburgh let him walk, why we let him walk, was because he drops the ball way too much, and he loves to fumble.
Well,
so those are two reasons why the Niners and the Steelers let him go. We didn't know, neither team cut him. We just let him play his contract out, and we didn't re-sign him. Same thing with the Steelers.
You know, there's a fine line between fumbling and playmaking, right? He likes to make the plays, and I understand.
I get it.
He's a little undersized, and he needs to do those. You know what he reminds me of a lot of? He reminds me of Freddie Mitchell in Philly. Oh, Freddie would get his head taken off, go half crazy, and still catch the ball across the middle. And that's who this guy is. And you're going to need a guy to make a couple plays like that. And I think Cousins is one of those quarterbacks that recognize that type of player. That's what makes Kirk Cousins special, I think.
I remember Freddie Mitchell. Freddie, God bless me with the most amazing hands, Mitchell.
I met Freddie Mitchell, and I asked him, I said, hey, listen, I know that you're not supposed to do this, but I need 2 autographs. And he looked at Brian and he goes, look what this guy's trying to do. He's trying to run me for 2. He's trying to run me for 2 autographs. And I said, yeah, doesn't that make you feel good? There's nobody else in this line wanted 2 of your autographs. I want 2 of them. And he goes, oh, like that? I go, look, and I'm getting it for a guy that's taking his boards because he wants to become a school teacher and teach the youth of America. So I'd appreciate it if you be nice enough to give me the second autograph. And I'm only playing with you. I'm going to give you the second autograph. I'm all right. I go, okay. He was all right, but he was like, kind of give me something. I was like, Freddie, you think I'm here because I want both of yours? He was a fun guy, though. But I like I like the Falcons. What's next? Who else we got next?
All right, next we got for tomorrow night. We got Jacksonville Jaguars at the Buffalo Bills. Jags are getting 5.5. Over/unders 45.5. Money line Jacksonville is at plus 195. Bills are at negative 238. Actually, there's 2 games on tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Wow.
Does.
Okay.
Does.
All right.
Buffalo turn back into Buffalo because they've looked like the best team in football. They've come out and they've won 2 different ways. They let Arizona get all over them, came back, and then they went. Listen, I know that Tua got injured, but if you tuned in before the injury, they were all over Miami. Okay, they weren't taking any BS from anybody. I wonder if Buffalo goes back to being Buffalo. I wonder if they've seen what Jacksonville's been over the past couple of games, which is not impressive, and they go, yeah, we're in Orchard Park, so we should be fine here. I give me Jacksonville on the money line. I know that I shouldn't say that, but 5.5. Trevor Lawrence comes out, looks a lot better. He didn't look happy with his performance. No Brandon Ingram. He will be out. But I do believe that Jacksonville finds a way in Orchard Park to win by 3.
Okay.
And everybody's like, Oh, how did listen, things happen like this, and then Jacksonville gets rolling after this game, but I think this is a great spot to bet them in. And
Mhm,
their defense hits like Buffalo's defense. So there's
mhm.
going to be a little bit of the same here. And when teams look a little listen, you want to be you want to not worry, take the 5.5. But I mean,
Mhm.
you want to make money, take Jacksonville on the money line because they need to win. They can't go 0-3. End of story.
Yeah,
Can't go
yeah.
0-3.
I like Buffalo here. I think Buffalo is just too strong. They have too much. Uh, I yeah, I'm definitely not touching the points this game. If you wanna play the points, take Jacksonville on the points. I could see this being easily a three-point game.
Buffalo
Buffalo
looks good, but
sneaking
they
out
haven't been
with a
perfect.
field goal. What's that?
They've looked good, but they haven't been perfect. They looked
No,
really good
no.
against I feel like they match up well against Miami, so everybody's eyes are wide open now, but
Mhm.
Arizona exposed them a little bit.
Arizona, yeah, they came out and shocked them, and Buffalo had to do I if Buffalo would have lost that game, I would have thought less of them, but they proved they could come back by a large deficit
All right, you like
early in
Buffalo.
the
I'll take
season.
I'll
I
take
like
Jacksonville.
Buffalo.
I'll take my chances
Uh,
with here.
all right, our final Monday night game. We got Washington Commanders against the Cincinnati Bengals. Commanders are getting 7, over-unders 46.5. Money line, Washington's at plus 270, and Bengals are at negative 340.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Bet Your House pick of the week. Bet your house
Ooh,
on the Cincinnati Bengals, and this is why. Washington
okay.
still has a rookie signal caller. I know he's feeling good after he beat the Giants last week. Washington is 1-1. The Bengals haven't found a way to win a game thus far. What else?
Mhm.
T. Higgins will be back for the Bengals playing this week. Joe Burrow looked much better last week, and usually it takes him, as Greg has pointed out many times, a couple weeks to get rolling. But he gets right against Washington. By the way, we're at home in Cincinnati. So you're 0-2. You get a rookie signal caller. I've seen
Mhm.
Washington's defense. And look, I am a Mayfield guy. He didn't have to work hard against that Washington defense.
No, it's very porous.
I'm being truthful,
Mhm,
right? He didn't have to work hard against that Washington defense, and which is why I thought Daniel Jones would have done a little bit better, but Joe Burrow will. Okay, the
mhm.
spread is what, 7?
7, yes.
Take
Yep,
the money line, wake up Tuesday
absolutely.
morning and spend 300. I've been telling people all week. I go, well, do you want to make $100? And they said, absolutely, I do. I go, okay. Take $350 and bet it on Cincinnati, and you wake up Tuesday morning with $100. And they
$100.
go,
There you
"Gee,
go.
geez, I gotta spend all that money to make." I'm telling you, it's free. It's no, I'm it's because it's crazy. People look at me, they go, "Oh, I can't spend 350 to make 100." Well, how do you want to make
Mhm.
$100 then? You want to work
Yeah.
8, 9, 10, 11 hours and then your whole day is gone? Or do you want
Mhm.
to wake up in the morning and you're sitting there on Tuesday and you go, "Geez, I don't even have to work the whole week. This is fantastic. I owe $100. Just do it," is what Nike told us to do. So
Just
why
do it.
can't you just pull the money? Are you doing it, Greg? You should do it.
Uh, I'm taking the Bengals, absolutely, I'm
Are you
taking
gonna
it.
bet the 350 though?
Oh,
Pull
I
it
don't
out.
have 350 or I would.
Go to the bank. Ask them for a loan. What do
Ask
they
them
need
for a
to know?
loan,
I
get a
need I
loan.
need to fix my car. Who cares? Lie to them. What the bank know? Bank doesn't know anything. I'm gambling on the Bengals. You know what the teller would tell you? The bank teller would go, that money will help pay for the car that you actually need. Then you'll be able to pay back the loan. That's a good investment, sir.
There you
Mic
go.
drop, bet your house, do it.
All right.
So enthusiastic.
Fantasy-wise, who do we like here?
So I am saying to bet your house, but fantasy wise, I do like Jaden Daniels running all over the place.
Okay.
Right. I do think there is danger here because I'm not saying to bet take the points either. There is danger that they're up by 14 or 15 late, and Jaden Daniels finds his way to a backdoor cover.
Oh, yeah.
There's danger there. There
Mhm.
is no danger in Cincinnati's going to win this game. In fact, this is why I like this so much. right? This adds to it. Okay. Everybody and their mother's on Buffalo and Cincinnati.
Mhm.
Oh, take the favorites on Monday night. It'll be easy. Except it won't be easy. There's an upset. If there's 2 games, Greg knows this better than anybody else. If there's 2 games, one's an upset, your job is to find it. And I think
Mhm.
out of both of these games, Washington is not going to get a call in Cincinnati. Not one call.
No, no.
Not one call. You got your win last week against the Giants. Very good for you. Jaden Daniels gets his first victory. Everybody's happy. Next week, you're in Cincinnati and Joe Burrow, and the NFL can't afford for Joe to go 0-3. Sorry,
Well, they're
ain't gonna
playing a
happen.
real offense now too. So,
I know, but the NFL also can't afford to lose a
Mhm.
good-looking blonde mop Trevor Lawrence to 0-3 either. Let's be honest about the situation here. Your job is to
Mhm.
find the fix, so bet the right game. It's Jacksonville and Cincinnati. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let's
I
see
just
here.
convinced you? Did I do it? Huh? Did I?
No. I am definitely taking Cincinnati, though.
You leaning
Definitely
right?
taking Cincinnati.
Okay.
Probably, like I said, I do like the Bills money line, but I don't know if I'm even gonna touch that. We'll see where I'm sitting, uh, as far as, the rest of the games.
All right.
Let's see here. As always, we always do the Thursday night game because you won't see us again until Sunday, approximately around 10:30 every Sunday. Uh, we got the Dallas Cowboys at New York Giants. Cowboys given 7. Over-unders 43.5. Money line is right now negative 305 for Dallas and plus 245 for the Giants.
Well, this one's easy. Because after Dallas loses today, they
Mhm.
get a get right game.
Yes, they need a get right game.
And wouldn't it be interesting if the spread tightened a little if the Giants looked good and beat Cleveland today at home?
Mhm. Yeah, I
Could
like
it
that one too,
happen?
Sam.
Could it happen? Could it
It
happen?
could. It could.
It could. It could be
It
the
could.
Giants could get their victory today and everyone burns down Cleveland.
Mhm.
Right? And by the way, the pitchforks are still lit because they're angry and they're waiting outside Deshaun Watson's house.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, for that 275,000,000, they're expecting greatness there, and they're not getting even remotely to that.
I'm telling you, things could really turn ugly in Cleveland.
Mhm.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I would take Dallas in that game on Thursday. But
Yeah.
I like to predict fun sometimes. Sometimes it's boring. Sometimes there's not a lot there, but predicting for like the whole week, you can hear McCarthy on the hot seat. You're like, oh my, you know, uh, crickets. Crickets, because McCarthy's hiding inside of his house. You know, if Detroit loses this week, oh my God, Dan
Yeah,
Campbell he's gonna have to live in a van.
yeah, down by the river.
Yeah. And by the way, water's still not great in Flint.
No, it's not. No, no. Detroit might be winning their football team, but it's still a nasty city, I heard.
It's still
It's
all right.
dirty.
Anything else this week, Greg?
No, that's it. That's it. I think we covered everything up pretty good. We gave you guys what our picks are gonna be, what our fantasy picks, who we like. Um, yeah, I think that's it for this week. Any final anything any thoughts on we haven't touched anything on college. Anything you've been watching any college ball lately or
I I have been watching a little bit of college. I think that there are under the radar teams that are really
Mhm.
quite good. Um, I do believe, everybody likes Texas.
Mhm.
I understand that everybody likes Texas. Um, the team that I really like that I think is gonna come out there and surprise people, I like Ole Miss. Ole Miss
Okay.
is
Mhm.
Lane Kiffin, and
Yeah.
that team is really humming along. I think you could see a Georgia upset in a couple weeks, and I wouldn't be surprised. And I think that another team that people have really, like, they've flown under the radar, they got a nice win yesterday, Utah's for real.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I
Yep.
please stop looking at the Utes and going, well, but they're playing. Don't do that anymore
Mhm.
because they've had a good a real nice football program coming around for the past couple of years. In fact, I know somebody that works for their film department, and really he's really detailed. Okay, he's
Mhm.
finding kids out of high school that fit that program. I don't want to give his name on air, but he knows football,
Mhm.
and so Utah's a real deal. And they've been putting pros in the league for years, right? Zach
Yeah,
Moss,
Alex Smith.
Alex
Alex
Smith.
Smith. Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, I'm really interested in teams that could really shake things up.
Yeah, and everybody has to realize there's a 12-team playoff starts this year. So, it's definitely gonna be a lot of fun this year. Definitely gonna be a lot of fun, single elimination. So, there's gonna be some, hopefully some Cinderella stories. I like that.
All right, guys, we're at 12:21. We got to go set our
Yes,
fantasy
we
lineups.
do.
As we know, you have to set your fantasy lineups. I am Jack Stache from Fantasy Farm Sports. Greg Kratzer, the Old Gamer GK, giving you your Sunday picks. Good luck with everything. And remember, when in doubt, bet your house.
Have a great weekend, guys. Good luck with everything and be excellent to each other.